Welcome back to the show, folks, on this very wet and dull morning here on the southeast coast of Ireland. Not a great day to be shooting videos outside, so we said we'd step inside, but thought I'd jump on and give a little kind of synopsis stroke match reaction to the result last night. Greece 2, Ireland 1. Um, really in a very poor place at the moment, Ireland, from an international football point of view. Have some decent talent in there, but you feel that it's not being utilised properly. And very, very concerning things. I mean, coming out of the France game, we had a little bit of hope again and put up a reasonable showing against France, who we know how good France are. But last night again, very, very poor. Step back again, and there's no reason for it last night because we had, I think, at least 10 days to prepare for this game. So it wasn't one of those situations where you only get the squad for 3 or 4 days. There was plenty of time to prepare and put a plan in place for such a critical game to keep us in the hunt, mainly for the third spot because we're expecting France and the Netherlands to get 1 and 2. So we'd be competing for that third spot with Greece. So it was imperative that we at least got a draw last night, but we were so poor. The goal we got was a really nicely worked goal, and we tried that a number of times last night, but just over hitting the ball all the time. Link up play was so disjointed. You know, if you look at the stats of the game, they had 20 shots, we had 6. Possession was 52-48, which means that they were using their possession way better than us. You know, Matt Doherty getting the red card on 95 minutes just shows the petulance of the boy and where some of these players' heads are at. You know, we're now sitting fourth in the group with no points after 2 games. Greece, I think, have 6. They're second in the group. And we're only above Gibraltar on goal difference, which is really, really poor when you think about where we're at. Qualifying campaign now in serious trouble. Um, Looks like it could be dusted after 2 games. We're 6 points now behind Greece, who we reckon will probably come third. So it doesn't look like we've any chance of qualifying. I think we said earlier in the year that Kenny will be given the benefit of the doubt and have another qualifying campaign, but it looks like the Stephen Kenny project looks like it's really coming to an end at this stage, and so it should be. It should have probably happened a long time ago, to be honest, you know. The FAI though find themselves in a very serious bind at the moment because although Kenny's getting paid $500,000 a year, you know, in our world, of course, it's huge money and big bucks, but in the world of football, really, it's not. And it would cost a fair bit of money to get him out of there if we wanted him released. The other side of this as well is who do you bring in if you take him out, and who's going to come in, and where do they find the money for that? The FAI kind of strangled in their finances at the moment, so it's a real dilemma for them at the moment, as they navigate through the financial hardship of the Delaney era, really, when you think about it, you know. So it's a tough time, you know. A managerial change, if required, you're probably looking at somewhere between 3 to 5 million, aren't you, to get something sorted. You look at Kenny's record as well. You know, he has a real good record at youth level. Some of us work in the Irish League and stuff like that is to be commended and stuff like that. But at international level for Ireland, 9 wins in 33 games, 28% win record is really, really not good enough. You know, it's just very, very poor. You know. And then you kind of have a look at the squad. I was looking at the squad last night. I was talking about it with Ben as we were watching the match, and I was thinking, so many players on there that just simply aren't good enough. Either their heart isn't in it, or they're just simply not good enough. There's a lot of players there that just don't even play week in, week out and stuff like that, and yet they have the ability to come over here and put on the Ireland shirt, and it's negated and stuff like that, you know. So if you look at the squad, you look at Adamida last night, really, really poor. Matt Doherty himself, absolutely shocking. McLean came on, looks a pale shadow of the James McLean that we know. Hendrick is still hanging around the squad. Troy Parrott coming on, literally offering up nothing. You know, the only really players coming out of the game last night with any credibility, if you'd even call it that, you know, Bazunu, and that's making a number of critical saves and stuff like that. It could have been a way worse scoreline. And remember, this is a team that's in around us in the world rankings and stuff like that, so it's really, really concerning because you could see, although the scoreline was 2-1, the gulf was huge. And when you think about that Greek side as well, for us as fans of the Premier League and stuff like that, and the Irish scene, I mean, the only recognisable player there realistically was Costas Tsimikas off Liverpool. Other than that, very similar to ourselves, you know. But if you look at the credible performance out there, Bazunu, I think, came out with a little bit of credibility. Obviously, Collins getting the goal and putting in a shift. And of course, Evan Ferguson, who's going to be a huge star for Ireland and for Brighton and in football in years to come and stuff like that. But Ireland needs fixing up in a big, big way. You know, if you look at the way we played, you know, although we had nearly 50% of the possession, what realistically did we do with it? We were running into cul-de-sacs, if you like. We couldn't get out with the ball, couldn't spread the play. At times we were on top of each other. A lot of our passing was so poor. A lot of hospital passes last night and stuff like that, instead of that crispness, zipping the ball into each other. The switching of the play was literally non-existent. Our speed in terms of recycling was poor, giving Greece plenty of time to reorganise and stuff like that. Just so slow in our way of doing things. No leadership on the pitch. No one wanted to grab the game, grab those players, give them a shakedown. When you think about some of the great captains we've had down through the years and stuff like that, you look at this Ireland squad now, it's void of any leadership, it's void of any responsibility. I think the players know that the guy at the helm is really not the guy to be doing the job. Our play is predictable. Our ability to bounce back from trouble and losing goals is spineless at best. We just don't seem to do the right things when we're on the ball, and it's worrying times at the moment for Ireland. And I think it is nearly time that it's definitely time probably for Stephen Kenny to move on, if the FAI can find some way of doing that now, because we're going to be in serious trouble, because it looks like our ranking is only going to get worse and worse, which means our ability to qualify for the latter stages of big tournaments is going to get more and more difficult. As our ranking drops, our draws are going to get more and more difficult. And quite frankly, if two big teams are going in there ahead of us in our groups, we're in serious trouble. We just don't have the ability to compete. We don't have the belief. We don't have the leadership. In some cases, we don't have the talent. And as we said already, a number of players there are hanging around that squad that shouldn't be there anymore. They should be moved on. I can understand some respects why Kenny keeps them there. He wants to keep that experience there. But with all due respect, I think if you're an Evan Ferguson coming in there young and stuff like that, are you looking to James McLean? Are you looking to these players? You know, are you looking to Jeff Hendrick? You know, are you looking to Matt Doherty? Are you looking to any of those guys? I don't think so. And I think that's the real dilemma for us at the moment. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Surely the Stephen Kenny era is coming to an end at this stage. Awful results. And I think time has come for a change. Let us know your thoughts.